Hello, welcome to Enter the Gaming Verse, episode 1. I'm Compulsive Nerd, and this is Red Ranger Robin, and
Hello.
we're about to talk about some of the gaming news of today and the past couple weeks, and then also what we're playing today. I would say, I just finished Valhalla like last night, and I I can't even begin to explain the journey that I had with that game. It was so long. It's like such a long game, and I'm curious of how I'm going to move forward because like we recorded a podcast episode last week just to kind of build our chemistry,
Yeah.
and like I just wanted to do this special segment that we have at the end of the show, and I'm like, how am I going to do that with longer games? Especially since like I have this Persona bug right now where I just want to play Persona so freaking badly. And I just
I'm
am
the
like,
same.
how am I going to do that? That's like a 120-hour game. And I can't do that in a week. Like there's just no way. So I'd have to make it like bi-weekly or something like that.
Yeah, so for me right now, like I said I was gonna 50. So I said like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm gonna try and beat 57 Bulletproof. I turned it on, I think that night, and I'm like, this is not a good game. So
Yeah.
I just continued playing through some of my Xbox games, like on a UHD QLED. Anyway, but so you can't play racing games on the older generation. Looks the screen is still too dark, just like it was back in the day. Remember when you were trying to play a game and you'd get the glare from the sun, like on an old school TV, and you couldn't see jack
yeah,
all.
dude. That shit sucks.
That is still very much a problem, even with the older generation of consoles.
Well,
Because it doesn't break your screen even with the nanocells in it.
mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, okay, that's impossible. So I was like, okay, well, there goes that idea. So I basically just been kind of, I haven't been playing a whole lot of games, but I'm gonna try and finish The Last of Us Part 2 there.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, 'cause I'm gonna play some of that tonight. I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty Warzone here and there because I want to get that battle pass. I don't know if you dabble into the Warzone or not.
I don't really play multiplayer like ever.
Yeah, I don't. It's the only game I actually play multiplayer on, and after that, I really have an itch to play Persona 5 Royale.
Me too. I'm actually like the way that I've structured my backlog right now is like I want to play the Ultimate Edition of Control, which is like what was free with PS Plus, and then
I didn't even download because I had no interest in it.
dude, I love that. I played the original, and now I just am thinking about it in like 60 frames per second, and like probably no map freezing. Like when you go in and out of the map, it like chugs hard, like down to 15 frames per second or lower. It like it was like, is it gonna crash right now? I don't know. With this PS5 upgrade, I'm just like, dude, I'm ready to go back in. Like I loved the game, and so I'm gonna definitely do that. It's not a long one, probably like 25 hours, and I'll be done.
Okay, I heard this is very Castlevania-esque or Metroid-esque. With the map, the way the map is, yeah.
It feels good though because you never feel like you have to go too far. Like you're like, I can't do this, and then like, I don't know, 30 minutes later you find it and you're like, oh dude, I could run back there right now. It's so close. Like, you know.
I really want to jump into. I'm looking at jumping into the Tomb Raider games that came out because they had 2 and 3 come out for PS Plus, and I downloaded both of those. I'm like, okay. And then there's also what else is there? Concrete Genie, which I haven't even touched yet, but it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, you should. I'm gonna play that Farpoint game at some point in the future. I have a VR, and it's one of the only PSVR games that I haven't really played at all.
Okay.
And so I'm really excited to get back because I love VR tech, and whenever they make VR 2, which rumors are happening that that is happening, I'll be on it probably day one. I was on it day one with VR, and I support that tech because I just have a dream of just being able to just go into video games. Like
make it wireless. That's all I ask. If you make it wireless, I'll buy it.
Oh hell yeah!
The technology's there. So I actually, at the end of the episode, I actually want to bring something up about technology-wise. It's not video game-esque, but it's technology-wise, so it's cool. But yeah, what order do you think I should go in? Like, finish Last of Us, of course. Should I jump into Persona 5 Royal right away, or should I go do like the Tomb Raider games first, or Concrete Genie? Like, what order should I do those in?
I'd say we should play it at the same time. So maybe do something else first because, like I was saying, it was going to be Control, and then it's going to be Little Nightmares, and after Little Nightmares,
1 or 2?
2. Yeah, 2.
Okay,
thanks.
I want to get that too. I haven't played. I've only played the demo of the first one, and I loved it. And I'm like, oh, it looks so good,
dude. They're fun. They're really cool. They're like so unique. I feel like in that genre because there's like there's Inside and there's Limbo,
Oh,
and then there's this. And I feel like this is just like a parallel on those kind of indie games of that style, this horror genre. And I just think it's very unique in the like disgusting nature of it. And I can't wait to play those. But and then right after that, that's whenever I was going to start Persona 5 Royal, like right after Little Nightmares, because that doesn't take very long, probably like 10 hours.
Okay, yeah. So just let me know. We'll play that together. Because maybe we could do like a spoiler cast or whatever kind of thing.
Oh, dude, the spoiler cast would be so fun because like I feel like that's my favorite thing to do with video games is like finish it and then talk about it with someone. And like I always like this morning, for example, I was working out, and like before I started working out, I just on my phone I pulled up the Easy Allies spoiler cast for Valhalla, and I started listening to them talk about it while I was working out because I was just like, dude, I'm fresh off this. I kind of remember some things even though it was such a long ass journey, and I'm just like trying to run through things and kind of take in this game as like a whole entire moment in my life, you know?
For me, like, so what I'll do then is I'll probably finish up the Last of Us Part 2, then I'll probably start Concrete Genie, then do the Tomb Raider games or whatever.
That works.
Yeah. Because
that's like super perfect. I feel like it'll come out around the same time that we'll be playing.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Valhalla. I'm still working through Odyssey. Like, I'm almost done it because I covered all the lands. Like, those... I'm so burnt out on Assassin's Creed, though.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if you'll like going straight into Valhalla after Odyssey then.
I'm not going to. I'm probably gonna wait till Valhalla goes down really cheap in price because like I know like those games they usually ship with some sort of bugs in them, and I'm just like and that's fine. That doesn't bug me, but I'm just like I can't do that series anymore right now. I just need to wait for it to calm the frig down.
I had to wait. I actually they patched a bunch of lighting bugs and like really making. Like they had over 100 bug patch that they came out with, and it created a new bug that like fucked the game for me, and I had to put it down. And it was like the longest time I've ever put a game down. And I was like every night I was like, I just want to go play Valhalla, but the facial animations would stop working, so it would just be like them still faced and they're talking, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like this is taking me so far out of this. I'm just staring at a character model like this. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like they're talking still. Ugh. But everything's been patched and you're good to go. So the next sale, pick it up because that shit, like I picked it up back after everything was patched and it's good to go. And I want to say like, it's just all around better than Odyssey, like all the way. 100%. Like the side quests are written better. The characters are much more likable. I feel like I didn't care for Cassandra that much. And I was like, this is the sauce. Like this is what they needed. They had the lore dump in Odyssey, which I think is what you need. You just need to get to the end and know like what's going on with the modern day, and then the modern day stuff for the end of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's the one where like you really need to know what's going on in Odyssey to understand, and it's phenomenal. Like I really like this game is a great game in my opinion. I don't think people should be calling it bad. There's just no way in hell this game is a bad game. Like it was maybe at launch when it was buggy as shit, but now it's not. It's like it's a very good game. It's just too fucking long.
See, with that there, plus it looks real. I was just like, I brought up some playthroughs on YouTube on my QLED Nano Cell TV there, just like watching in the 4K running 60 frame, whatever they run it at. I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
pretty. But like right now, I just can't do the series, so I've just been kind of playing some PS4 games. There's nothing really out significantly on the PS5 yet that's really come to my attention. So basically I've just been dabbling, like playing some Warzone. Like I said, I'm gonna go through those other games that I was talking about. I'm gonna try and finish those off there tonight. I dabbled in some God of War, which I hadn't played since it first launched, and that game is so pretty on 60 frames per second. Like, good lord, that game is still pretty to this day.
It really is.
Yeah, so I'm just like, but one game that's been dabbling on my mind is like I keep on thinking about Cyberpunk 2077 lately, and I'm like, I want to buy it, but I wouldn't stick in my PS5 again. I would put it in my PS4 because I don't give a shit.
Don't do it.
But I asked my friends, like I have some streaming friends, and I'm just like, well, I'm like, has the game gotten any better since the patch? They're like, not really. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind, which saddens me.
Yeah, just stay strong. Don't. I'm like basically I pretended that game never came out. Like that's what's happening right now. It just got delayed for a really long time, and now I just don't know when it's gonna come out. Like, because I'm not gonna. I love CD Projekt so much, and I know that they've got a bad rep now because of what they've done. But it's just like I have confidence in their developers. It's not their PR, not their suits, not the people who made this bad decision to put this broken game out, but the people who are making the game. I have confidence that they will make this game fucking phenomenal for next gen, and that's all I care about. Like I'll just wait for that.
I think if they bring it out for next gen, they put it back on digitally. I'll do it digitally because I do not want to stick that disc back in my PS5. Like freak that noise. Just a no go for that. But yeah, like, and there's a sale that's on PlayStation Network now. I'm like, there's a couple of games I want on there. I have the money for it, but I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on them. Like the Shenmue 3's on there. Like I like Shenmue 2. I never played Shenmue 3 yet because I heard it's disappointing. But I'm like, yeah, but you gone through all that journey and you've been going through all that trouble and those hours. Like you might as well just see it to the end.
That's how I feel about games too.
Yeah, and then it's just like, and then oddly enough, Cars 3. Like you're like it's like Mario Kart, but oddly the driving is better. It's fun. Like I'm playing Cars 1 on my Xbox. It's super fun.
Yeah. Well, let's start out and like start talking about that state of play that just happened. I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. Just like overview first, and then we'll kind of go and break down what happened during the entire show.
Yeah, so the state of play was interesting. I expected to see a heck of a lot more than I did. They focused on indie games, which is absolutely fine with me. Like, I mean, there was some major titles announced, it's like Crash Bandicoot 4 coming out on the PS5, which is great. I like Crash Bandicoot. It's something I'll probably dabble into much later because I really enjoyed like the Spyro remakes, and I enjoyed the Insane trilogy. But with this sort of thing, like they didn't really announce a whole lot of new things. Like they had like Returnal in there, Knockout City, which I have no interest in Returnal, whatsoever. The FNAF Security Breach looks fun because I'm really big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Kena Bridge of Spirits looks super fun. Like I'm so excited for that game because it reminds me so much of like a Disney game of some sort. It's almost like it reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn, but without like all the seriousness in it. It's like cutesy and stuff. But the game that got me shocked, like looks so good, was that game called Sifu, which is made by the people who did Absolver. But this is like a single player campaign, and I'm just like, yes, like
yeah, me too.
I love beat 'em up so much. I love beat 'em ups classics like that. I played Absolver. I beat Absolver. I actually broke that game just figuring out the combat and stuff like that.
Did you? But I never played it.
Yeah.
I was interested, but I just heard there was a multiplayer like component, and I just was out. I was like, I don't want to fight other people.
I actually there was, but you didn't. So how that was, it was when I first played it, I played it launch day. So there was like nobody actually fighting against. It was all AI that was fighting against pretty much. So I did that, beat it. But this one I'm like, yes, single player. Like especially the screenshot where they had him going down a hallway and just beating the crap out of people reminded me of the Raid Redemption movie. So I'm so hyped for that. I'm on the hype for that. And that was really the only games that grabbed me was Kena, Sifu, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Crash. Really, that was about it. Like it was rather disappointing. I expected to see.
That's interesting that you call that disappointing because there's like almost half that list, you were interested in, and it's just maybe it's the way they did it that made it disappointing. But for me, if I walk out with one or two games that I'm like okay with, I'm like that was a good showing. Like I'm not here to be like, oh, you have to blow me away every second, because I feel like that the time of that is over. Like ever since E3 it like ended, it just feels like all of these stupid little conferences that are done by all these companies are just so disappointing. And it's not like, I don't feel like it's the game's fault by any means. It's just them doing it all year long instead of like this one condensed time to be hype all year long. And I don't know. I wonder if the sales numbers are showing any kind of positives for them, because this sucks. Like I hate Summer Games Fest. I love Keighley, but dude, they got to cut that shit out. Like I can't do 3 months in the summer of just random shows. Like, it's too much. Like just take all of them and put them in 1 week and let me request like vacation during that week, and then just get like I used to get together with my friends and just watch it, and it was
Yeah,
super fun.
so with E3, like when E3 was happening, like a couple years ago, like when we think back to 2015 or 2015 of E3, we think of Sony's conference. That conference, they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, some other ones too that just blew everybody's like freaking minds. And I think people expect that now all the time, but I don't. But like with this one, we're in a generation of new consoles, but we haven't had a truly next gen experience game yet. That's what they need to be marketing right now. So they have to give you an exact reason why to buy this. Yes, you've got games like Ratchet and Clank, and you've got games like Horizon Forbidden West, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But we don't have a truly next gen game that's been just for this specific system. You need to market a game, or you need to market games, brand games that are coming out in the next month or two in order to showcase the graphics, what the system's limits are to bring in a new audiences and new sales. And they didn't do that here. They showed indie games, which is fine. Like they showed indie games and Returnal there. But I'm in agreements with what you said. Like they're showing these games, yes, which is fine. You don't need to be blowing your socks off, but you need to do something in order to blow our socks off for this system, and you haven't done that yet. And
Yeah.
I'm in the first year of it, and your first year of your sales is going to either make or break you.
Well, I went into this with no expectations. Like I haven't been hyped really on these state of plays. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch and keep an eye out for games that I'm gonna be interested in, and I don't come out disappointed. Like I just don't. It starts off like number one with Crash, and they're just doing kind of like a breakdown, and I'm like, oh, good for these people who like Crash and are gonna get it on PS5. Like I don't care for Crash, and so it was kind of irrelevant. But then they showed Returnal, and that was huge for me because I had been waiting to see what Returnal would look like, and they showed it, and I'm finally like, all right, I think I'm in. Like that looked really, really fun and fluid, and it has story, and that is what I'm like. I'm here to support single player story games, and if they're gonna do that, and it's gonna be, I think, is it PS5 only for Returnal?
Yeah.
So it's like, why not support that? I mean, I know that it's $70, and I'm probably gonna game share with my best friend. So it's just like it's something that I'm just so torn on. But they did a great showing of Returnal, and that like second game, I'm like, oh, nice, okay, now I have a game to play here in the next couple months. You know, like was April 30th it comes out, and
I think so, yeah.
And so I'm like, boom, all right. There's one game on the 2021 list that I'm ready to play. And then they showed Knockout City, and I was like, all right, I'm pretty much tuned out. Like, I'm almost interested because it's dodgeball, and that's kind of a fun thing, just throwing balls at people. But I'm just like, in a video game, it's just not. I'm not about it.
The one that was actually fun was it wasn't bully.
Do you think you're gonna get into Knockout City?
No, hell no.
No.
No,
me either.
No
I wonder how that'll do. Like they're trying to hire people, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
So are you? I have a question actually. Is about Crash because you were talking about it. Are you a bigger Crash fan or bigger Spyro fan?
I'm a bigger Spyro fan. Yeah.
Okay. Did you play the other trilogy when they came out, the remakes?
Did I? Can you say that again?
Yeah, did you play like the 3 original games that came out on the lab? Yeah, I bought it too, and I was like, this is much better than Crash. I don't know why, but I liked it a lot more. I had a lot more fun with it.
I don't know. There's something about Crash that I just don't care about. Like it turns me off. Like I feel like maybe I don't know what a Bandicoot is, like a real one. I don't know what they look like. So I'm just like, I just don't care about this animal. I don't care about this franchise. I just don't care about the hard platforming. It just doesn't look appealing to me, and I don't know why, because I'm usually into like every kind of genre and game, and it's sad that I'm not, because I probably love it. I probably would. And then the next game they showed, which was, did you have something to say?
I was like, you could Google what a Bandicoot is.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I can't, but I'm just saying like it's just something that I'm not interested in. Like,
yeah,
I don't care what it looks like. I just don't. But Sifu, it was the next game that was shown off, and this, like you said, dude, this caught my attention. Like I was like, that looks like Absolver, but better, like a lot better. And
Yeah.
my friend was like, yeah, it's from the studio that made Absolver, and I'm like, holy shit, like, oh my god, like I might actually play their next game. I just hope that it's not another like. I just hope there's no multiplayer. I just do.
Well, I think if we were going to see multiplayer, we would have saw it in the trailer, but we didn't. It's just straight up AI. So like, because that's their highlights, the single player experience, because they found out the
Yeah,
multiplayer experience did not work, and also you could break it too easily. So it's like, okay.
yeah. That's what my friend said. He was like, it feels so good to fight people in Absolver. And I'm like, I just don't. I don't want to confront anyone. I just want to beat up AIs and, run on, just go through the story. And it looks like it has a story. Like
Yeah,
they described it, and it was something like you age every time you die or something like that. Isn't that right?
I think so. Something like that.
And I'm just like, I'm in. Let's go.
My
And then
my
they showed Solar Ash, and this is a
yeah.
game that I want to be hyped for, but I can't be. Like I'm interested in the Pathless right now. It's on my backlog, and I just don't. It looks so similar, like it, but it's not. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like seeing a game. Okay, it's like using Assassin's Creed. Like you look at Assassin's Creed 2000, like let's say 8 with Assassin's Creed 2, and you look at Assassin's Creed about it's like okay, you can use a different type of screen. It doesn't have to be Assassin's Creed, but it can be called something different.
Yeah,
Kind of like that, yeah.
yeah. That's how I felt about it. It was just like, maybe I'll play it if there's like really good reviews, but it's not like high on my list. But I'm still kind of like, maybe another showing. I don't know what they can do to make me play that game. And then
Yeah,
this one is kind of for you. You said you were excited about the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It looked
yeah,
different.
yeah,
It looked a lot
yeah.
different. It wasn't just sitting in that office like doing things. It looked like they have now designed environments that you can move yourself through. Has it been like that in the previous games? Do you know?
So now, so I've only played the first one, but if I remember correctly, like so one's the pizzeria, of course, which is what made that game super super famous. I think another one was like a toy factory, but you could walk around the toy factory with like your flashlight and stuff like that, if I remember correctly, or something like
Okay.
that. And I kind of want to get more into these games and find out, okay, are they all just like this, or you can actually walk around? Because if it's actually more walking around, I'd be super hyped about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
Remember
don't
doing
know if
it?
I'm interested in that at all. I'll have to
Yeah.
probably like watch some gameplay or do something like that because it's I've never been interested in Five Nights at Freddy. I've always thought they did cheap scares and it's just not fun. While other horror games that I enjoy, like Resident Evil or Outlast or anything like that, like they don't rely on these cheap scares. They kind of give you everything to adjust to. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna sit here and wait to be scared because like that's what the point of the game was.
Yeah.
And so I just was like kind of tuned out at that. Oh my god, Oddworld Soulstorm. Another game I'm not interested in. I just
No.
don't care. I'm glad that it's coming to PS Plus. I can't be interested in it because of the game that it is. It reminds me of like old mobile games, like back in the
Oh, yeah.
early 20 teens. Like
Yeah.
the mobile
Yeah.
games during that time are just like get these things to the end, and it's just like, I'm not interested. Maybe if it has a good story, but yeah,
I'm
it's good.
not. I'm. Yeah.
It's good that it's coming to PlayStation Plus because it gives a lot of people the opportunity to play that game.
It does. Yeah. Just no go for me. Like, not my cup of tea.
And then, uh, Kena, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
this dude, it started, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm done. I backed out and I was like, I'm not gonna watch anymore. Like, I already know I'm in on this game. Why would I need to see more? You're just gonna show me shit that I already know is gonna be in the game, and I don't want anything spoiled. Like, why do they keep doing that? Was this the third time it's been shown or something like that?
Uh, I think
It's just
maybe
too
the
much.
second.
And so I just stopped watching. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, because I wanted to see the release date. I was like, so there was rumors going to come from PS Plus, and then I was like, they made, but they announced its thing for August. I'm like, why would you do this now? Why would you do this part of your, I don't know, summer thing in the summer? Because Then instead of people waiting 6 months or whatever, they only have to wait 2 months. That would be the smart thing to do.
Okay.
I hate games that are announced too far ahead of their release date. I find that such a stupid thing.
I don't mind having them announced so far ahead. I just don't like whenever basically the gaming audience takes it and is like, oh, this is the next coming of Christ. Like, what's that Bethesda game that showed nothing and everyone's excited about? StarCraft? Star something?
That I'm not sure.
It's Starfield? Is that right? I don't know.
Maybe.
Point is, people are hyped about this game that is literally nothing. They showed a satellite in the trailer and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be so good. It's like, no, it's probably not. Have you played Bethesda games?
Yeah, I have. I played Wolfenstein 1 and 2. 3 was garbage. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. And then I played the shit out of Skyrim though.
I did not play Skyrim very much, but I did play Wolfenstein.
I also played, well, I guess Rage 1 and 2 are done by Bethesda. I played Rage 1. I still have Rage 2, which I haven't even touched. I might start that.
I've never played those.
That's gonna be my goal there.
But they're janky.
First one was, but it was also really good. Like, it was like combat I had never seen before. The open world was super interesting. So if you can find it somewhere like on the kind of PS3, I'd recommend grabbing it for like $5, $2.
But that's the thing with them is like they made fun games when the technology wasn't there. And now that the technology is there, their games are kind of like, you stayed in the PS3 generation. How? Yes. I don't know. Like,
well, they made Doom as well, but I've never played any of the Doom ones yet.
Oh, Doom is so fun. I played the new one, but I haven't played, well, not the new one, the 2016. Is that what it was? Doom 2016? Yeah. And I played that one, but I didn't play the Eternal.
Was it good, Doom, when you read the other one?
It was really good. It was really fun.
Okay. My friends the same thing, so I'm curious now.
I let my friends borrow it. I don't know what happened to the disc. Still don't. It's gone. Makes me sad because I would love to just jump in and just kill demons sometimes.
That's why I don't like games out to be. I'm like, okay.
And then they showed Deathloop, and this is another game that I have zero interest in, like at all.
Yeah.
The only reason that I don't is because it looks like you have PvP and a single player story game. And I'm like, why the fuck would they do that? Like, I hate games with invasion. Like, Bloodborne had that, and I'm like, just stop. Let me turn it off. Like, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, like, it's a game that if it came for PS Plus, I'd probably play like 1 to 3 matches of it and then I'd be done. Kind of like what I did with Destruction All Stars, except Destruction All Stars was god awful. It was so bad.
Deathloop is a story game. You have like you have a bunch of targets that you're gonna have to go and kill, and it's kind of like Hitman. You know, you have a level and you try to get to the target, and then you move to the next level and you do the same thing. And that's what this game is. But it looks like there's another person who's gonna try to kill you. And they haven't showed enough or said enough to be if it's to say if it's like, oh, you can play the girl hunting the guy and it's single player, or the guy trying to get the target and that's single player, or if it's PvP, you're trying to do this one thing and then she's trying to, like, another player is trying to kill you and stop you from doing that. It's like, that doesn't, like, just tell me what it is, because I don't know and I don't care. Like, until you tell me what it is, I just don't. And I wonder if other people feel that way, or if other people are just like, yeah, I'm gonna play this, because it seems like everything I hear from every person is just like, oh, that I'm interested and I'm gonna play it. And I'm like,
oh, speaking of games, have you played Dishonored 2?
No.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it was any good, because I know if you bought Dishonored 2, the first one came with it, or am I just totally off my rocks there?
I'm not sure.
I played I played the first one though. It was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
They're a blind spot. I tried to play the first one and it was just too dated, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I played for probably 30 minutes and I just was like, damn. And it sucks. I hate when that happens, because this is like one of the most negative episodes or like conversations I've ever had about video games. There's not very often that I hate video games. My friend says I'm not critical enough, and because I love everything. I love like all games so much.
It's not about being I think at that point, like, you're not looking at it as a podcaster or journalist. You're looking at it as the end user at that point. But once you start doing this more and more, you're looking at as a professional within the industry of critiquing games, of doing things like that. So it'll become more of like what's good, what's bad, kind of.
Right, but I'm just saying in general, like on camera conversations and off camera conversations, I'm never negative about video games. There's like a handful that I hate. Like I hate Destiny, I hate Dead Rising, and there's probably more on that list, but those are the two
Assassin's
that
Creed
always.
Unity at launch.
I didn't hate Unity, but I think that Unity is like very clunky. It's like very clunky.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't hate, like I enjoyed Unity. I platinumed it and I had fun with it, but I didn't hate it. Like there's just a lot of games like that where I just play them and I'm like, yeah, it's a video game and I love video games. So I'm not mad that I played that. Like, but I am mad that I played Dead Rising and I'm mad that I played Destiny. So
I played the beta for Destiny and I was like, well, that was fun when it lasted.
But I won't play Deathloop probably until I find out if it's multiplayer or not. And then last but not least, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, PS5 upgrade, and the Intergrade DLC. I really got hyped about that because I loved Final Fantasy VII Remake. I never played the original, but I just enjoyed the hell out of Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I wonder what other people are thinking about this. Like, what are you thinking?
So I played Final Fantasy original when I was 6 years old. Loved it even then. Even though and that one's still worth playing. And then I played the demo for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wasn't impressed, but I'm tempted on downloading it like tonight just to download, just say I have it now.
Oh yeah, because PS Plus.
Yeah. So
yeah, play it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I have it. So, but I want the same hype for it. Just because I love Final Fantasy. I love the Final Fantasy games. Like I played 6. No, sorry, not 6. I played 7. I played 10. I think I played 12 or 11. I can't remember. And I played 15. 15 people shit on it for like not being able to play through a second time, but I played it through for like the first time I played it. I was like, this is so good. Like it is stupid good. And I'm just yeah.
I'm not big on the Final Fantasy franchise. Like I played 15 and 7 really. I think that's it.
Where do you sit with Kingdom Hearts then?
No, none, 0. I just can't with those.
Oh.
Yeah.
The sheerness of just one of my voice, like, oh.
No, just definitely not. There's just if the series was shorter and the story was less convoluted, I'd probably play it.
Here, I'll help you out with that. Just play the first 3. Just play 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Don't play anything else.
I hear a lot of conflicting stories with that. Like, play this one, play this one, play this one, play this one in this order, do this one and that one, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna play any of them. Probably won't play for 1, 2, and 3, especially because it bothers me to like play games that like. No, I talked about this with my pet peeves. Is like if a game has or a franchise has over 4 games, I probably will never ever touch it. And playing games out of order fucks with me so bad.
I know, me too. But wait, Uncharted have more than 4 games, but yet you still play those.
Right, but I mean like games that I haven't started, like franchises I have not played.
Oh,
so like Yakuza is a big one that I'm trying to break through, and I probably never will because it's just there's so many. Okay. There's so many.
There is so many, but I'm gonna let you know. You don't actually have to play 0. You don't. I swear. Because if I can go, Yakuza, the Yakuza series is my favorite studio of all time for developing, except for Naughty Dog. You actually don't have to play 0 to follow the story whatsoever. Like it's got nothing to do with the original story. So you can play 1 through 6. That's all you need to play. Fine.
Yeah, but everyone's telling me to play 0. It's like it's the gateway to the rest of them.
But the thing is, those people, like how big are those people who are saying it, those are the people who just got into 0. I've been playing that series since 2005 with all the original ones.
A lot of the people that I talk to have been playing it since the original, and they say like it's there's just so much that it's like it's a great starting point. And if you like 0, then you go and you play the rest of them.
Yeah, so what I recommend doing is especially getting 0 now if you can, because it's a collectibles item now.
I have no idea.
It's getting very hard to find apparently, so it's worth the money. Like it's only about $30 now if you can find it, but it's slowly becoming very much desired. So
I think I have it. If it was I think Yakumi. What was it? Yakami,
Uh,
something like that.
I'm not sure.
It was free on PS
Oh,
Plus, but
Kiwami. Yeah, Kiwami one.
yeah, Kiwami.
Yeah, so that's number one. So I have 0 through 6. Plus, I have a game they called Judgment, which is so good, by the way. I would highly recommend that to you. Like after you finish Persona 5, jump right into Yakuza 0. Can't recommend it enough.
Oh no, I can't do another long game after another long game. Can't do that. That's
true.
like I just finished Valhalla, and it was probably like I probably had over 120 hours in that, and now I'm craving Persona 5, you know, and I'm just like, shit, am I gonna get burnt out halfway through Persona 5 because of long game fatigue? That's why I'm trying to like sprinkle in some Control and a little bit of Little Nightmares 2.
So yeah, probably what I'll do there tonight is I'll probably try to finish Last of Us Part 2 tonight, maybe dabble into a little bit tomorrow. Probably, do I want to do Concrete Genie Rage 2 or Tomb Raider? What do you think?
Concrete Genie? It's short as hell.
Yeah.
You can get the platinum in like 10 hours, 8 hours really? Or something. Yeah, it's super short. Not saying that you're going to get the platinum, but I'm telling you like what I did. I probably, I don't know if I'm, like I said, I don't know if I'll ever play a Yakuza. Like, I just don't. It's on my backlog though. So
there's that. I just remember the Judgment is coming out with a PS5 upgradable thing. And I'm like, no one's answering my question. Do you need to buy another version of it to get the PS5? Or can I already use my PS4 version and just upgrade to PS5? Because I'm just like, yes.
All right. And then did you hear about this Dragon Age single player only report by I just blanked on it. I'm opening the article now.
It's okay.
I'll probably cut that.
No, I haven't. Yeah, but no. Yeah.
Bloomberg broke the report that that EA is axing the multiplayer team that was, because it was supposed to be heavily, it was reported that the new Dragon Age will be heavily multiplayer. Like it'll have a big component that's multiplayer, and they just like got rid of that and they took all those people and put them into the single player team, and so it's single player only. And I don't know if EA is listening to people or like what is going on, because EA never comes out and like says this stuff. It's usually just reports like this. But I feel like EA is turning around. Like they always do that. They speak with their games rather than like their PR. They're like, oh, we fucked up Battlefront 2. And now like one of my friends is like, this is one of the best multiplayer games that I play currently. They turned it around like completely. And it's just they never come out and say, oh yeah, Battlefront 2 is a much better game now. I guess that would be really arrogant for them to say, but you know.
Now they just need to bring back their EA big studios back and like create new Def Jam games and new friggin' like SSX trickies out there.
Some street ball games, dude. I would play them.
Oh, me too. I still have my NBA Street Volume 2 and 3, I think, on my Xbox.
Yeah.
So, speaking of EA, I'm just gonna ship here for a second. So with EA they're having a new game come out called It Takes Two, where you play as two divorced parents, or who are divorcing, I guess, at the time, and their daughter creates these two dolls who represent their parents. And so like this world becomes alive and you become these dolls, and you have to work together as a team in order to work out your differences and problems. And so it's really cool because what you don't do in that world as those dolls reflects in real life too. Like there's consequences for things that you do.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, because like apparently I was reading something. By the way, I love that I love that director. He's very out there, and I like him a lot. Me too. He's the one who said, fuck the Oscars.
Yeah. He also made A Way Out, and that was really I like that. I played it with my best friend. Yeah, it's such an experience. Like I just want more co-op games, and we don't have enough in the industry for some fucking reason. It's like the biggest capital like anyone could get. Because you could think about every copy is selling 2 fucking copies.
Yeah,
I just don't get that.
And one thing that's good about this one too is if you buy a copy of it, you can gift you get a second copy with it to gift to your friend.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so, and I guess a special announcement for you guys: we will be doing that game together. And I don't know if you plan on recording it. Do you plan on recording it?
Recording the gameplay?
Yeah.
Probably not. Okay. Maybe like
but
footage. maybe footage
Yeah.
so that we can throw it up on a show or something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I wasn't like, if you mean like Twitch streaming, I was like,
No,
probably
no,
not.
no, 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 no. Fuck that. But yeah, we plan on co-oping that together because we discussed it, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna
Yeah.
co-op it since
So
one copy is free. Which, if you get physical, I don't know if they give the free, or if I get digital, they give the free digital. I don't know how that works.
well, yeah, it's funny. I'm actually gonna be gone the day it comes out. I'll be back on that Sunday. But
Okay.
yeah, like I'm probably gonna see if they have it in the store there, like when I'm there and I get it physically. I'm like, here you go. So yeah,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure the code will come in with like a code will come in for like a second copy, something like a digital copy or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that should be fun. That's a game that's coming up. That's EA is doing by Hazelight Studios, and I really enjoy A Way Out. Like even to this day, I've played that game through 3 times now, and I still enjoy the shit out of it. It's such a unique experience.
It's very unique. I played it maybe 2 times through.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So good though.
All right, and then today, March 10th, we got the Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge announcement, and this shit was so hype, dude. I sent this video. My brother and my sister, they don't play video games, and I sent this to both of them because when we were younger, we used to play Super Nintendo, and we would play Turtles in Time, and this is like a new Turtles in Time, and I'm just so hyped about that, dude. Can't believe it.
Me too. I saw like I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan. I actually will tell you how much of a big fan I am. I have so I have Ninja Turtles 1, 2, 3, the movies, and the TMNT on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital copies of them. I also have. I was first in line to see the Ninja Turtles movies, the new ones by Michael Bay. Sorry.
Yikes.
And I have the original Ninja Turtles comic books that came out in the 1980s and the TV show, the entire series. So I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. And I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, because Ninja Turtles in Time is actually my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. I love it to death. I still play it.
It's very good.
Yes. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, what is this? Like I saw a trailer, I'm like, is this a show? And they showed screenshots, I'm like, or in the video, I'm like, no, this is a damn video game. And like this is a direct sequel to Turtles in Time. I'm like, yes. And
I know.
So
dude, I was watching it and I was like, because you sent it to me, and I just was sitting there and I was thinking like, what is this game? Like, is this just like an animated trailer, or like what is this? And then I looked at the like title of the video that you sent, and it said like gameplay reveal also, and I'm like, oh shit, I just gotta wait, because then I can actually see what this game looks like. Yeah. And at the end, it just like did the slots, you know, where they show the turtles, and I was like, holy shit, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And then they just showed the gameplay, and I was like, dude, it's exactly what I need from a Ninja Turtles game right now.
Exactly, and then we haven't had a game like that since Turtles in Time, I think, came out. Was the last one where we actually had a side scrolling like that, and I got so hyped. I'm like, holy shit!
I could not believe it.
And I know, and I was like, okay, it's coming on Steam and consoles. I'm like, we don't know exactly which consoles yet, but I don't care. I grab it if I can in any way, shape, or form. And
yeah, it definitely like made my day so good today.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I don't care. I'm getting this digitally plus a physical release, even if it's a limited run release. So I'm going to get them both ways. I don't care because it's one, right? It's like, so I was like, yes. So
all right,
get to use my buddy Donatello.
Oh, you're a Donatello guy?
Oh yeah, I love him.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I never meet Donatello people.
Oh no, dude, I mean Don's my boy.
Who's yours? Leonardo. All the way.
Nice. Yeah.
All the way.
That's awesome.
Dual wielding swords is the shit, dude. That's like my go-to on everything.
I have a question for you. It's Ninja Turtle related. Have you actually ever watched the Nickelodeon 2012 Ninja Turtle cartoon?
I don't think so, but let me tell you, I have wanted to. I have wanted to badly.
Okay.
Like,
so
I love Ninja Turtles. I have I have the toys, but like I used to watch old cartoons and I can't remember shit about them. So I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm this big fan, because I can't remember. I was just so young, and my cousin had all these awesome 1980s toys and 1990s toys, and I was like, this is the shit. Like, I love Ninja Turtles, but no, I haven't seen it. And also the old movies, the 2 live action movies.
Yeah,
those are fucking great. Those are fucking great.
Yeah, so I have those on 4K Blu-ray, and they're pretty on that shit.
Nice.
But and go ahead, like even if you have time tonight, just like a half hour, 10 minutes, watch episode 1, like 10 minutes of it. You'll be hooked, I promise. And it's actually hilarious.
Do you know where it's at?
I think you can find it on Nick Plus. I think you could also. I think think Netflix has season 1 on there right now.
Dude, if it's on
they,
Netflix, then I might
yeah,
start it because sometimes when I get too tired to game, I will
yeah.
throw Netflix on, and that sounds so good for my next show. Like I'm gonna probably finish whatever anime I'm watching now and then move on to
Like
that.
no spoiler alerts, but like it's hilarious because um like there's just this one scene in the very opening episode of like where Mikey's like freaking out because he finds it crying right in this dude's chest, and he goes, "Guys, there was a brain. This guy, he had a brain." Where I was like, "We all have brains, Mikey. Yeah, but not in our chest."
That's
And he goes,
awesome.
"It's just freaking out." And Leonardo stops and goes, "Did you just slap me?" He goes, "I was calming you down." He goes, "Why would that calm me down?" It's actually genuine, and there was 10 or 12 seasons of that show, and I'm actually starting to collect the Nickelodeon show now as well because you can like get the DVDs pretty cheap on Amazon now. And
How many
those
episodes are there? It's not like super long, is it?
like you mean in total or like per season?
Like total.
Oh, okay. So I think it was like 20, between 18 to 22 episodes per season. So like, it's your normal TV show.
But how long? Like, how's it been going? So like,
Oh,
what,
so
100
okay.
episodes?
Yeah, sorry about that. So that started in 2012, and I think it just finished in 2019.
Oh, okay. So you got,
So yeah,
you know,
it went
100 and
quite a
something
long time.
episodes.
Yeah. So it's really well written, really good, really good. So I recommend it to you. It's supposed to like get like 5 or 10 minutes a night. Actually, YouTube has the episodes. And they're free.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also do a link. Also do a link tonight if I get on through PlayStation.
That works. That works.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of going to close out the show now. Like, what are you playing? And well, actually, we kind of already covered that, but you wanted to talk about this tech.
Oh yes, okay. So there's this thing that came out last week. It was TechWise. It was done by Microsoft. It's done by Microsoft. It's called Microsoft Mesh. I think I sent you a link to it, did I, last week?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but anyway, it's this really cool thing like where you put on these things. It's called a HoloLens. So say if you and I are working on a project, say if you and I were working on a car together, you and I both have these HoloLens, and say if you're in where you are and I'm where I am, we put these HoloLenses on, and a hologram will show up of you right in front of me, as if you're right in front of me speaking to me.
Whoa!
And like this sick. Car, this 3D model, this car, the hologram will actually show up in front of us too. This technology is new, and it's really cool because, like, say if you're teaching a class or something like that, and you want to actually like appear in front of your students, it's there, like you're there in front of them. If all these students have these HoloLens and you have one too, right. It's called Microsoft Mesh, and also do a link for that tonight too on through PlayStation.
I have heard about this, the HoloLens tech and like what they're doing, but there's like no development or anything happening yet.
It's yes, like, there is. It was announced last week, and this HoloLens releases, I think tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow or the 17th.
I think it releases for development, like just so that the people can start working on it.
No, if you go to Microsoft's Microsoft store, you can actually buy it. The HoloLens, it's 4,000. So Canadian, it's $4,749.
Right. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's like nothing for it though.
Yeah, there's nothing for but it's still in like development. But it's such a cool technology.
Like it's a tech that technology's done. But what I'm saying is like the people who are gonna make games or make apps and things like that, they don't have their hands on it yet. Like that's what it's up for purchase for now or today.
So that's the thing. I thought so too. And then that's what I thought.
Because that's what the meeting was about. Like the original conference, to show it off is like, oh yeah, this is kind of something that you can do, and now it's gonna launch and it's gonna start with the developers doing the things.
And they showed a full tech demo last week. Like the creator behind it did a meeting with his coworkers, and it was really cool. I'm like, okay, this is super cool. This is cutting edge technology, because I saw in the video like this girl who was going to rehab there for like a lost finger or something like that, for like an accident or something like that. And her doctor had the HoloLens on, she had it on, and she could see that she was moving it, kind of like how easy and how much of a struggle it was. And I'm like, that's very cutting edge technology, especially when it comes to things like mental health, and we can't get to the access that we need because it's the middle of the night or something like that. That's a very cool technology, cutting edge technology. And I'll send you a link on that tonight, the trailer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I got a few things to send you tonight. I guess done.
Yeah. Cool. And then I talked about the updates on my backlog. I'm going to start Control this week, and I'm hoping by the end of the week, I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, I want to start Persona 5 like very soon. like
Yeah.
so soon. I want to start it by after next week's episode, probably.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finish off The Last of Us tonight. I think I've only got a couple hours left in it. If I can finish that tonight, then I'll probably start on Rage 2 and Concrete Genie. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
Okay.
So that's my goal for next week, to have Rage 2 and Concrete Genie done.
All right.
Cool.
And so that's it. Well, thanks for listening, and join us next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.